My buddy Dom Hemingway on his Facebook page, which I thought was very funny and creative. He started a thing called Dom Hemingway's poll page. And on the cover of the screen is the Confederate flag. And then there's a picture of Donald Trump with his finger up his nose. And the reason that they gave Dom Hemingway a hard time is because it didn't follow the community standards. But I beg to differ. The community standards seem to be that the community of Facebook is very much in favor of a confederacy. As a matter of fact, they're part of a confederacy. You know, confederate with the federal government. Con with federacy, federal, strong central government. It's actually pretty fucking totalitarian. They're telling us what we can and cannot say in public. Let me tell you, Facebook is public. And they're publishing. Now they're calling us authors. But I look at all these memes and I can't find the author of the memes. You know, like my buddy, he'll post a meme. It has a little guy's name on there, usually at the top of where, he got it from. So I click over to that guy and he's not the author of the meme. So you gotta wonder, where these memes that we share come from? Where do they come from? Who writes them? Perhaps Mark Zuckerberg writes them. Maybe he writes memes for both Republicans and Democrats. He has a hard time writing them for libertarians and free thinkers, which I'm not a free thinker, but free thinkers, anarchists, punkers, fucking metalheads. I don't think he can fucking write memes for those guys. But the dominant thing that I see on my feeds is political memes. Political memes. So I see all these political memes. So anyway, so they're opposed to the Confederate flag, but they're not opposed to the Confederacy. They're banning their own flag. Does anybody else think that's strange? Anybody? Anybody think that's weird? Anybody? Hello? I think it's fucking weird. I think it's obnoxious. And then Donald Trump picking his nose. It's perfectly okay to bash Donald Trump all you want. Shoot, I was listening to Chuck Schumer doing it today, bashing Donald Trump. I was listening to Chuck Schumer bashing Donald Trump. He's no longer the president. You're going to criticize the man. You've undone everything that he supposedly, quote, did, close quote, right? Which, frankly, I'm not stupid. I know what he did. He abolished the Constitution. Opened all the doors for Joe Biden to come in and do what he's been doing, and Chuck Schumer. So it's a national emergency. Climate change is a national emergency. They're going to make climate change a national emergency. National emergency. Agenda 21. Number one threat to the planet is people. I love that. It's like the opening line. The number one threat to the planet is people. Not fossil fuels. Not the overuse of fossil fuels. Not the impact that fossil fuels have on the environment. 90% of our diet is comprised of petrochemicals. What are petrochemicals? They come from the fucking earth. They're organic. They're oil. So much oil. Oil's in everything. What? And then watch. My Democrat friends, they complain about the shape of the roads. Do you have any idea how toxic that is for the planet? Even though it came from the planet. But according to, this is just man in the street common sense stuff. I'm not a scholar. I watch videos, from Steve Cunningham and I can never remember the guy's name, but he's a political scientist. Okay, if politics was a science, okay. Kind of is. Kind of is. It's a mind control science. It definitely is. It is a science. Language. So anyways, so I took some, and I used two guys. I used Tracy Harmon, I used Patrick Delahanty. Tracy Harmon being the most far-right guy that I know. You know, your standard issue Republican. And then my friend Patrick Delahanty, who is as far left as you can go. Standard issue Democrat. And I snapped a bunch of photos of their memes today, right? And I'm going to fuck with it a little bit. You know, I'm going to pencil it out some, and I'm going to think about it. But my first impression is, what side are these guys on? They have a lot more in common than they do out of common. You know? They're both angry. They both don't think clearly. They both, disparage other people. I mean, it's really pathetic that there's no actual thought put into their rage. It's just rage. That's all it is. See, and I'm really angry. I'm really raging. But only because I'm pretty sure that the authors of the memes that these guys are sharing, they come from the same think tank. Yeah. Now, I mean, there's some legit things on there, you know, like Patrick, he doesn't like guns, and he believes in gun control. He doesn't have a gun. He doesn't need a gun. Patrick doesn't really get into any situations where he needs a gun, or hasn't so far in his life. So, and he doesn't hunt for his own food, you know. I took him fishing one time. He did catch a fish. I was pretty happy about that. Mine was bigger. I caught more, but he did catch one. He caught a fish. And so that was fun. It was one of the last things I did with Patrick and Doreen and my ex-wife. That was a fun day, man. I was wearing my Trump hat. Anyways, you know, it's just kind of funny when I look at it, you know. I mean, the things that they have you divided on are the things that unite us, right? That we're angry at the government. And what inspired me to look at Patrick's page today was that Tracy said, notice how the Democrats are talking about all the good things that Joe Biden is doing, right? Well, I was all, okay, let's see. So I went over to Patrick's page to see if, you know, he had any congratulatory memes about any of Joe Biden's recent policies or maneuvers. He didn't. He didn't have anything that said anything really good about Joe Biden. He did have a disparaging comment about the Republican Party with a picture of the Republicans and saying, you know, America's great again because these guys aren't in power. But they were never in power. Rudy Giuliani and Donald Trump, really the only power they have is over small-minded people and their minds. That's really the only power that they have. You know, they have the power to with their mouths, recite what has been written for them to divide Americans further. So I give a little, you know, like this, I think is, to me, is the most important topic. My friend John Kennan, he talks about stuff, you know. He talks about policies. He talks about some of the dirt that they're doing and everything. But really, I mean, my main focus is on the language and the mind control and the lack of effort that my friends are putting into thinking before they vote, or even trying to, it's up to us to reform our government. It says so in the Constitution. I mean, that's our job. So it's like we have to have a conversation between us, okay? And they don't want us to communicate. They don't want us to talk. See, why does Patrick want gun control? I'm sure it's for a compassionate and charitable reason. I'm pretty sure that he wants gun control because he doesn't want people to get shot. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And it's not like Patrick hasn't seen enough suicide and homicide, within people he's cared about over the years. I mean, he has seen that. I know, because we have some of the same friends. They get locked up for killing somebody, or they kill themselves because they're so unhappy. But the bottom line is when I look across Facebook, the one really common thing is everybody's unhappy. People are unhappy with the government. I don't blame them. I'm unhappy with the government. So, when I can listen to Chuck Schumer without yelling and screaming and kicking things. But some of my friends can't even listen. Like I tried to, and I'm not dissing my buddy Dave in any way, okay? But I wanted to hear the inauguration speech. We were at work, right? And we were riding in the truck together. So I turned it on, all right? Fucking poor Dave, man. I had to turn it off because he was fucking mad, man. Oh, he was so mad. And I don't blame him. I'm angry about all the same things, all right? The lies that are coming out of his mouth, Joe Biden's mouth. It seems like people are calming down a little bit now. They've stopped crying a little bit about, But look, we're not fighting for a Republican cause. We're not fighting for a Democrat cause. That's not what we're doing when we get on the Facebook and we start jacking our jaws. That's not what's happening. It's not what's happening. I talked to Greg Middleton, right? And we both hate the man, Ain't no God in Mexico. Ain't no comfort in the canyon. When you're down in Matamoros getting busted by the man. You know what I'm saying? Waylon Jennings. Fuck, man. That's what I'm saying, man. Me and Greg are eye to eye and heart to heart. Me and Patrick are eye to eye and heart to heart. But god dang, he is so left. He's wrong. He's so left he can't be right. And my buddy Tracy, he's so right, he can't be wrong. He can't be left. And we have to be wrong. We have to be wrong. Right? Each one of us individually doesn't have all the parts and pieces. We have to be able to communicate and fill in the gaps where other people's blank spots are, where people, divert from reality and start going into la la land. Okay? So Patrick is in la la land about a lot of things. I mean, he's Catholic, but everything he supports is anti-Christ. Everything he supports is anti-Christ. He posted a meme of Billy Graham. Patrick posted a meme of Billy Graham, and it was a quote that Billy Graham said, something like, "It's impossible for Christianity to align with the right. God forbid the day that happens." Okay? But Billy Graham spent time with George Bush, man. Okay? He spent time with every president. He went in there and talked to every president. I don't know what he said. We'll never know. But Billy Graham wasn't that great of a guy either. There's some rumors about Billy. And his son, oh my God. I've heard some rumors about Franklin Graham that if those are true, man, that dude is a Satan-worshiping, blood-drinking, evil person. Only God can save our country. I don't think God wants to save our country. I mean, obviously, nobody's ever heard the flood story or the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. And for specifically those reasons, God probably doesn't like America at all. He probably hates it. Probably fucking hates America. And, I was thinking about, because I got on a porn site. I was thinking about, looking up these horrible things, right, that show up. And showing just, like the title of the genre of porn it is, and then the views. I mean, we're talking about millions of views of some seriously fucked up shit. So, I know what porn you're watching, man. You guys are fucked up. You're fucked up. Now, well, you're a Catholic. You shouldn't be looking at things like that. Well, I was talking to my buddy Brian yesterday, and I was like, man, we can't just ignore evil, right? We have to look at it, right, and identify it. And then, we can take this information that we have about it, especially like on the porn sites. Take this information that we have and talk about it, okay? Talk about it. Talk about it, right? And point it out and get people to stop bullshitting you. Because, fucking don't come at me like you're righteous. I've seen the stats on Pornhub. I've seen the stats on XNXX. And it was just me thinking for a minute, because look at all these numbers, these viewers and subscribers and likers and everything. Yeah. Yeah, man, we are in such serious trouble. Because you know what? We're arguing about the right to sin, okay? You have the right to sin. God gave it to you. When Adam and Eve ate the apple in the garden, death entered into the world, man began to die. Okay? So, we're arguing about the right to sin and have it normalized. Like, have it talked about to where it's acceptable. But it's not acceptable. Sin has never been acceptable. It will hurt you. And it will hurt other people. So no, I don't think it's okay for you to broadcast your illness, your sickness, your sin, and tell people that it's okay. I don't think that's okay at all. I don't think it's okay. I think it's not okay. Climate change, it's like, please, man. George Carlin was really, he summed it up when he talked about it. Earth has been here a long time. It don't need us. Shake us off like a bad case of bed bugs. So, and this all this virus experimenting that they're doing, that's just the arrogance of man, thinking they can control something, and what's going to happen is they might wipe out a bunch of us, okay? But they're going to get sick. It's going to backfire on them bad. You don't want to knock the population down that much that fast, especially with these weak people like Chuck Schumer. He was talking about, I like to ride my bike. I like to ride my bike out by the Atlantic Ocean. And I think, my grandchildren might not ever get to see this because the oceans are going to rise. Right? I'm like, you ride your bike down there by the Atlantic Ocean, huh? That's good to know. You done told everybody where you go. I don't like to do it in the cold weather. Well, watch out in the summertime, motherfucker. It sounds like you ain't going to be able to be all fucking riding your bike down the side of the fucking road in safety ever again. You're all hidden up behind that big old barbed wire fence. Yeah, man, you can't go anywhere in public. You can't go anywhere in public. You poor bastard. You know how many people hate that guy? Hate him so much that they would kill him. I don't hate him that much. I don't care. First thing about Chuck Schumer. He doesn't govern me. He doesn't speak for me. He doesn't rule me. See, and that's the illusion that everybody's under, that they're ruled by these people. You're not ruled by these people. I'm not ruled by these people. They don't even know me. They don't care the first thing about Ben Cornwell. They don't care about Ben Cornwell. Ben Cornwell's powerless. He's powerless. He can't do anything. Except what I say on Facebook for some reason, really. They don't like that at all, man. They're like, you need to stop talking. That's cool, man. That's cool. You don't follow the community standards. I'm never gonna follow the community standards. And believe me, I'm out in the community all the time. Like today, I was out in the community. But yeah, they're gonna fucking lock me up. We're already locked up. Everybody's so unhappy. I seen a post from my friend Misty today on Facebook, and I had a private messenger. I told her, man, I go, hey, we're all going through this. We're all suffering like this, man. You're not alone, Misty. I love you. And then I was like, when I get my oh God, when I get my thing together, I have her come on and tell her story, because she's got an amazing story, And that's how I met her. I met her in a hard time with a bunch of other people going through a hard time, and great people too, man. Miguel Roja. El Miguel Roja. Yeah, man. Misty Martinez. Met Daryl Skalal up in Salt Lake City. I met those guys down south. Fucking, in the entirety of Donald Trump's presidency, I went everywhere. I made friends with people all over the country. I had a great time. The last 10 months has been a nightmare for everybody. They talk about one last thing that's been kind of grinding my gears. People say, oh, yeah, order some food and call the cops and see which gets there first. They're busy. They're overworked. Yeah, they're overworked writing you tickets, dumb motherfucker. They ain't out there trying to solve your problems. My buddy fucking Greg, they fucking vandalized his brother's car the other day as he was leaving California for Texas, which is a mistake because Texas is just little California. Fucking, the cops, they didn't even show up. You know why? Because they were busy writing tickets, enforcing masks laws on people that are obeying the law. People got a car, right? It means you got a job. You got a job, you got a car, you got insurance. You forgot to turn on your blinker. Here, $200, motherfucker. You traffic violation. They're sitting up there on the fucking freeway waiting for somebody, the one guy that's fucking going a little bit faster than everybody else because he really wants to get home. Maybe he's got diarrhea. Boom, ticket. Which restricts you even further. And incidentally, you don't need a driver's license. They cannot tell you that where to travel or how fast to travel or any of those things. That's really completely unconstitutional and totally illegal. They cannot do that. But yet they do it all the time. They do it all the time. And you guys just fucking go to court. You know what would happen if everybody just stopped going to court? There's no way they could come and get everybody. They couldn't come and get us all if we stopped going to court, if we refused to pay our traffic tickets, all on the same day. If we just said, okay, everybody, today's Wednesday, if you get pulled over, refuse to sign the ticket. Right? They can't arrest everybody. They couldn't arrest everybody. How many tickets they write every day? Fuck, man. So, and that's our power, man. That's our power. And that's why I get banned off Facebook. That's why I get, dropped from YouTube. That's why I get all this trouble. I get all this trouble. Because it's not legal. It's not right. That's not the United States government doing that to you. This is the Panopticon. Michel Foucault's fucking mind control, baby. So, it's time to organize. We got to organize. We got to unite. Patrick, Tracy, you guys are not each other's enemies, and you're wasting your breath having this conversation. The conversation we should be having is taking back our country from these criminals. Because I happen to know for a fact that Patrick Delahanty cannot prove to me climate change. I also know he doesn't give that much of a rip about it because he burns probably $400 to $600 a week in gas going to work. And he drives on those paved roads. Every day he drives on those paved roads. He ain't walking. Growing tomatoes in his backyard, selling them to his neighbors. He can't afford his rent if he was going to do something like that. So, all right, enough hypocrisy. Yeah, 24 minutes, that's a good spiel. I think I'm going to shut the hell up.